A long, long time ago, the Earth was totally happy. It was full of crystal clear seas, forests, many animals, and clean air. Except for a few moments of difficulty, it always came through and life blossomed again on its skin. Millions of years ago, some primates began to walk on two legs, upright, and unknowingly started a new species, mankind. Gradually, their limbs adapted to their new needs, and they developed intelligence like no other had ever done before. The Earth watched them with curiosity. It was fun to watch them constantly creating new things. First, they began to create tools. They put skin on them and hunted in a very clever way. They even controlled fire, the first time this had ever been done. The Earth never ceased to be amazed by their creativity. They built houses and then villages, going from nomadic to sedentary. As they evolved, new needs arose, and in response, new ideas and inventions were born. When they had a problem, they used their incredible intelligence to create something that would change the environment to solve it.
And they were never still. No other living thing could stand up to them. They quickly moved onto different parts of the planet. That little species that had been born on Earth's belly was now walking on its head, a very cold place. But it didn't care. It could handle anything. And at this point, the Earth began to see something it didn't like very much. In some places, humankind wiped out other species to make room for itself. This has happened before, of course. Some species overpowered others, but it happened over many years. And with humans, it was different. Everything was too fast for what the Earth was used to. And maybe these species had too much of an advantage over the others. Although the Earth could do little more than to watch what was happening. Humans began to multiply. Villages became cities. They began to divide up the land. This one for you, and this one for me. The land didn't quite understand all of this, and it made it feel uncomfortable. But hey, there was still plenty of space, and most animals could still enjoy abundant forests, seas, and clear skies.
But something happened that would change everything. One day, in an area between Earth's eyes, smoke began to appear, caused by what humans called machines, something that humans had invented to make them do the most difficult jobs. These machines spread very quickly throughout Earth's body, everywhere. They were uncomfortable and smoky, and they needed coal and wood, which humans got from trees, so they started to cut down a lot of the forests for it, and at great speed. But before the Earth could complain, humans discovered that they could use another kind of charcoal that was under Earth's skin. So they started to drill holes to get to it. This hurt too. Humans were the most successful species in history, and they kept growing. There were millions and millions more. They were building gigantic cities, and they needed more and more energy and food. They began to wipe out other species at a rate never seen before. The Earth cried helplessly. One day, they found another source of natural energy under the Earth, oil. From this, they made gasoline and plastic, and it gave humans the energy they needed to keep growing and growing. They invented the train, the car, motorboats, and aeroplanes. They threw smoke, more smoke into the sky. The Earth didn't understand anything. Everything was going too fast, and it began to feel worse and worse.
These creative species had become a virus that was killing Earth's life. The Earth got really sick. Nothing was working as it should. It had fever, coughing, shivering, hot and cold all at once. It began to react to the disease, and its illness began to affect the human species. When it was hot, in some places there were very strong storms, and in others there was no rain at all. In some places, cities were washed away by floods. In others, nothing grew at all. Deserts grew bigger and bigger, and treeless forests were destroyed by unchecked water. Most unfairly, the humans who suffered the most from the consequences of this disease were the ones who had created the least problems, those in Earth's gut. One day, Earth saw how a part of humanity began to think that they could not be treated so badly. Some hope at last.
The Earth saw, sadly, how, despite the attempts of those who wanted to protect the Earth, the rest wanted nothing to do with slowing down. And that's where we are now. The Earth is waiting. It's waiting for us to react so that we don't hurt it anymore. Let's stop drilling holes in it, cutting down trees, polluting its water, and releasing greenhouse gases. More and more of us want to heal it and return it to the way it was, that precious place full of life. And there are two ways. Either we do everything we can to take care of it and create a better world, or we continue the same and let people continue to damage it with the consequences that this entails for the majority of the planet.
So now you know, if you want all people to live better and happier lives, there's only one thing you can do: defend the Earth.